as far as the jungle.
Backwards, the concussive blow stacking. Owner, two, manages to lock him down, and that's going to be first blood. They're donating it to BDD.
Finals.
Trying to make it through the minions. Dogdam living for an extra moment, avoiding the angle back into the wall. Keria gets the knockback. The Glenn's coming out. 1-for-1 in the bottom lane.
Wrap around. Braum is there. Wukong is there.
Knocked him on the way down. He won't be there in time. However, Unbreakable Peter looking to mark him up. Concussive blows finally hitting. Auto attack reset more than enough. Gumayusi falls at the hands of Cuz. Into the wave. Damage coming in, and the rest of the team has arrived. Spinning right on top of Doran. It is a cyclone. Keria running for his life. Concussed. Taken down. KT dominating game. Doran.
That's 4 people.
Concussive blows. The cyclone immediately comes out as well. Doran can't push a single button. KT merciless on the dive. Doran. But it might not matter because it's Doran into the back line. Owner stays standing. Cuz taken down. T1 fired back.
No matter the early deficit, T1. They
on the hunt for BDD, but there's just nowhere for him to go in the blink of an eye. KT's lead disappears. Forward, ulti into the back, immediately things get kicked off, but Peter does his best to heroically disengage. It is not enough to keep Dom standing. Cuz taken out as well. Doran in the 3v1, completely and totally unfazed. Keria there to stop any further follow-up. Faker taking down Perfect, and BDD is not enough to Perfect be available. BDD finds the angle into Doran. Keria now backing up, 3K on the objective, getting lower. Steadfast presence gone. Faker on the backside. Cuz wants to try to make it out of this one, but now they're moving into advantage. Take out Guma. No, Guma living. Wizards like to finish him. Looking for a bit more damage, but T1, they find the double for Keria. They take the Thornbound Otacon, and Perfect, it is too little. It is too late.
Baker teleports in and he saves the team fight. He gets that
execution. Keria going into the wall, locking up Cuz. Instantaneous knockup. A flawless combo to keep it going. Dogdam finally escapes, but he just finds himself in a 1v1 versus Doran. Hope fading fast for the side of KT as Keria is still standing. Perfect and BDD running for the hills. T1 grabbing their second Drake, but Owner not done yet. Knocks Peter out as well. And ulti does not connect from Doran. Knockback from Keria takes BDD out of the equation. And once again, it's Doran on top of Dogdam. Concussive blows by him an additional second. V1 goes golden. Knocked back into the wall. Keria there right in time as KT are effortlessly dismantled. Cuz turning right back onto Owner. Owner instantaneously into the back line. The concussive blows there, as is the perfect execution. Keria in the thick of it. Gumayusi and Faker untouched coming over the wall, but it's Faker. Full confidence is the flash. But unfortunately, the flip back goes wide. Doran turns it right back with a sundering blow. T1 being ushered out. Keria wants to deny it, but he will only be able to isolate Perfect. The Baron still backing them up. Forward. Perfect execution. Aptly named as Dogdam takes him down. KT now chasing out as well. BDD trying to well more back into the rest of the team, but Keria once again there to interrupt. Doran unfazed by the magic damage of BDD. It's a double kill coming through. Perfect and Cuz, the last two left standing, but a TP into the base to bring back and seal the deal in game one. T1.
For the hills, I don't think his survival is gonna matter as Doran and Keria show a masterclass in this game one. The lane for both, I think, looked but he does have to pay for it.
KT getting aggressive, just knocking down Gumayusi, taking first blood as Peter flawlessly turns into the Canyon minion to eat countless tower shots. Owner is solid. Faker now on the way in himself, trying to use the golden clips to keep things going. The Ezreal ulti across the top. BDD grabbing one. Faker will turn it back, but he's under the tower, and it's Cuz to take him down.
And it's
layering into CC a little bit off. BDD unstoppable for a brief moment, ready to use the ulti, but Faker is stolen one away. The golden clips, but the follow-up is there from Peter. Makes it a 1-for-1. Vault Breaker coming in. Faker just CC'd for an eternity. The Kingslayer healing not available in time as Cuz is on a killing spree.
And the teleport from Doran does signal they want something.
Really starting to hurt onto Doran. Catch over the wall onto Cuz, the most fed member. They're immediately going to delete him, and the rest of KT try to pull the trigger, but they can't quite find the angle. BDD, Dogdam, they've got the range advantage. Peter, the Q from Doran, moving in. Peter still gets the ulti. It's a golden eclipse from BDD. A new dawn for KT in game two, but T1, will it be enough? BDD trying to buy her back, but it's Gumayusi fearlessly advancing, ricocheting, tearing through the dreams of KT. Guma with the from Faker as he catches out Dogdam. Cuz there to try and peel, but it is too late. Owner moving in. A cataclysm across the top side. Perfectly canceled. BDD flashing over the wall. Gumayusi still living. Perfect on the chase. Peter wants to fire back. Cuz running for the hills. 2 down on the side of T1. But Guma might be enough. Perfect the bite, tears right through him, and now it's Owner picked off as well. KT fighting for their lives. BDD still standing, crucially, the extra damage. Doran set to fall. A double kill for the KT mid laner. And Doran perfectly placed and baited Doctom. Far too confident. With the Seekers, the rest of T1 retreating, perfect buying of visual space, and the tunnel over the wall. It's a heist. He buys the time to take Faker down. Doran with a decimating smash. Peter on the chase. They'll only connect onto one, but it's enough to start the fight in their favor. Gumayushi untouched, but he's now also not able to do any damage. Cuz keeping it going. KT. Flash back over the wall, sidestep on the decimating smash. Peter there to cover. Guma can't push for anything else. Doran getting chunked out. That's the ulti to seal it. BDD going godlike. Starting to get forced backwards. Doran to kick things off. Peter to look for the interrupt. Faker using an ulti of his own to be stolen away. BDD taking another fight. But down goes Guma. Cuz making it work, but PD's owned away by Keria. And all of KT now collapsing on the T1 support. At the end of the day, it is only Owner, and he cannot stop the soul. Doran straying way too far forward in a moment of miscommunication. Down goes the top laner of T1. KT start the Baron.
That faceplant means Baron, boys.
Doran isolating Cuz. Peter going forward, finds three with the knockup. Perfect there to fall, but Faker turns it right back and knocks down Peter. Doctom, BDD, still standing. Baguma! He's shredding through everybody! The Sivir finally allowed to take over the fight. Able to find the kill. Perfect. Cuz, Doctom falls. A final hold for T1. It almost turns in their favor. But Perfect is going to end the game. Guma dies, and so does T1. KT even up the series.
And I can't believe I'm saying this, but Perfect, reliable as all hell in this game.
Here, as long as he has his coming through, but they really don't have what they need. Ulti there, his power unleashed, the weak scattered, and first blood for KT.
Opponent trying for the execute, it's all he can do, but not gonna happen.
Well,
It's important to choose your timings.
BDD going over, wants to kill Owner, but Owner lives for an extra second. The stun to turn it back. Owner taking over BDD, but the stun does not connect, and Peter's now running. Cuz lower and lower, and Cuz is taking unstoppable for Perfect. Gets a bit more space. Keria still living. Doctom on the way in, and Guma set the fall. Down goes the 80 carry. Doctom on the way out. The TP in. Fish in a barrel, and it's time for KT to start free firing. T1 thought they had the edge, but in the end, it's KT. BDD then is now collapsing on the side lane. Multiple pieces of CC stun. Initial lockup into Owner is decent. BDD trying to turn back. Sidestep does not work. Owner taking the kill. Flashing forward, Keria's gonna find the knock on the Doctor, but Peter beautifully stopping the initial engage. Doran from behind, though, more than enough to knock down that 80 carry. KT running.
Huge TP flank. What? It turns into more.
Peter flash out, reset from Owner, unstoppable for a moment. Owner setting up for the angle, but he's not going to overcommit. Reset on the ulti, knocks Keria back over the wall, and here comes Doctom. Down goes Keria. A little bonus kill on top of the Drake, certainly nice to have. Very likely to just have to can he keep his life? TP's coming in from the side of T1, but it's just Faker and Guma off to the side. They don't have the tools to keep the fight going. Scatter to fall, but the fall of damage is not there. Exhausted is Faker, and Keria tries to turn it back, but he's all by his lonesome. Doran cannot get into the back line. KT managed to find the initial kill. It's perfect to pop off. Guma missing completely. They get the Drake, but it might cost T1 everything.
He flushes into the wall.
It's massive, but once again, it's the flank that they're looking for. But it's Doran caught out. BDD unleashing his power. Cuz using the maximum dosage as KT start to push into Gumayushi. He's ultless. He's helpless. There's nothing he can do. Mundo pushing further. The auto Keria trying to zone. Peter on the way and wants to knock them out of the fight. The objective getting lower and lower, but all of T1 deleted. Doran wants to make the difference. Cuz goes in. T1 making it happen. Guma fails the flash. It stops the fight from going through. Doran getting whittled down. And in the end, it's Cuz again who refuses to drop. Peter with the CC. I cannot believe it. KT holding on as T1 in the end. Finding Doran, but not the ideal carry as Guma and Faker are still untouched for now. Gravity field to lock them up. Maximum dosage. Cuz getting lower, but still living. The Mundo refusing to die. And Gumayushi drop. The bot lane open. The TP there for BDD. KT moving to match point.
About to go up match point in the Telecom War in the world's final!
Full committing, Peter on the way, the tongue lash there. They want to give the kill to BDD, but it'll go to Cuz in the end.
And now we saw how that benefited them.
But that's all their CC. Perfect fighting off to the side, dragging Faker into the death realm. In the meantime, BDD starting to walk forward. Doran potentially caught out. The forward man! BDD! Turning it again. KT were losing the fight as they lost the objective. Gumayusi will not be able to make the bailout work. The Drake to T1. The fight to KT. Peter, knock up a bit too far. The thick skin, yeah, it's not going to save you. Caught up in the hype, caught up in the moment. Faker going to get one back. Deft completely isolated, cooking the barrel for just a little bit longer, and now the Drake is going to go down. Owner taking it. Deft isolated, and Perfect trying to force a fight with Faker, but he gets nothing as the wall comes in to interrupt. Flash over the wall. The ulti from BDD. He might get a couple more kills, but again, the objective belongs to KT. Even as T1 begin to fall, Faker and Keria are ready to turn it. Gumayusi and Perfect in the death realm, and Guma takes those. T1 focusing on the objective. Cleanse used from Keria. Heal on the way. Faker finding a bit more damage. BDD isolated. Hostile takeover going to connect onto BDD. It won't have much effect as Cuz tries to chase Faker out. But Deft, he might take Keria. But it's T1 taking the Otacon. Guma, the ulti is there, but they don't need to face him yet. The turn on to Faker isn't enough. 3K. Cuz in the pit. At the end of the day, it does not matter because it is Doran to get the soul. KT might be able to get the fight, but there's too many members of T1 standing. Ocean Soul to T1 as everybody on KT fall. Looking to get taken down by Faker. He's in the death realm, but Faker's happy with the 1v1. Just in time, he gets out, and Doran is there to seal the deal on the kill. KT desperate. They see a vulnerable opponent. They know what they can do as they start to rip them to shreds. KT is not going to take a bear, and T1 reminding us why they are here, what they can do.
Our full value out of this series as KT just cannot close.
The ulti is decent. Keria wants to turn it back with the hostile takeover. The gold deficit is just too massive. Even a miracle, even an incredible angle was not enough in the face of this T1 lineup.
Live in the grand finals.
And the Telecom War has never been this insane. That's a classic.
All but certain to make this one come through. First blood for T1. Doran's Camille takes it.
Jungle pressure to
Q forward, sidestep, the taunt, Faker turning it back, BDD one more auto, the 1-for-1!
BDD, no hesitation, must have known that was going to kill him.
Well, there, the Q back for a bit of healing, but it's not enough.
To get this dragon, but he needs to stem the bleeding, because if Doran gets out of control, this game becomes nigh unplayable for KT.
The hook shot, making it out, send it play back to the tower, but it might cost Keria his life. It's a 1-for-1, no! The minions flicking out! Keria walks away!
And that's the
the comments! I had tea in my mouth, but that was incredible, the arcade comment! Moving down, that's the combo, locks him in the ultimatum, finds the damage, the taunt is there, and Doran takes another. Doran, though, he's got backup. Owner on the way in, locked once again in the ultimate of Doran. But Perfect living for an extra second. The Q2 coming through just in time. Connect, crucially, Deft able to get out for a brief moment. BDD now trying to turn and fire back. But Faker is on the way. Ulti going in. Doran is down. BDD still standing. The exhaust managing to take him a little bit lower, but Gumayusi sits on the back line completely untouched. BDD finally able to start opening up. His owner gets one back in return. Perfect is here to keep his mid laner alive. And long time, Doran untouchable for a brief moment, but they managed to kill him. T1 fumble the play in the mid lane, and Perfect. Fire rained over the wall by Gumayusi, and down goes Peter. BDD finally arrived. That's the ulti coming in the meantime. He needs a little bit more space. Deft, BDD untouched, but the front line has fallen. BDD CC'd, knocked into the sky, and right back into the grave. T1 get Otacon and ace KT.
a triple kill for Guma and T1.
Coming in from Owner. T1 don't even need the objective. They're happy to keep pushing for a bit more. On the top side of the fight, they've isolated BDD. He's continuing to fight. He wants to turn it back. He gets the kill on Doran. Crucially, Faker falls. KT hold. The ulti can do a lot of work. Doran going in, doesn't connect the hookshot wall dive. Immediately CC'd. Exhaust coming in as well. Combo over the top from Guma. Finds two. Exhaust as Keria moves his way to the backline. Faker rains down from the sky. Locks up BDD and obliterates the hope for KT Rolster.
The bullet time will end the time of KT here at Worlds.
Doran Doran looking to get things kicked off. Hookshot wall dive brings him over. He's taking the tower already. Flash back to get away from Cuz's ultimate. And the ulti manages to connect from Dom. A big fumble. Fast. Owner. Up BDD. He goes gold in an extra 2.5 seconds to consider what went wrong as T1 looks set to end it all.
They're gonna finish the job. It is Doran and Peter left alone in the mid lane. And T1 will ace them.
T1 earning their legacy again and again and again. There can be no doubting it. 4 players on the Rift today making the impossible possible. Owner.